Hi everyone, it's Michelle. I thought I would pop on and say welcome to February's fitness zone. Uh, January just never ended. It just never seemed to end, and it happens every single year. So I want to reassure you that you are not the only one who was absolutely thinking, when is this going to end? This is just a crazy month. And it really is a crazy month. I wanted to give you some encouragement that when you finish a month off and you've done fitness every day or you've tried your hardest, that is really all that can be asked of you. Try your hardest, stay consistent. There's a really nice message I want to give to you, and the message is really, I want you to genuinely believe that it is not an all or nothing situation when it comes to your fitness and health. It's not depositing all of your energy, and if you can't do it for 3 days in a row, oh, I might as well throw in the towel, all is lost. That is just not how it works. And if that's your mindset, then I would seriously encourage you to reach out to me just to have a little bit of a sense check and to work through any of these preconceived ideas that you have, that if you fall off the wagon, that's it, it's all done and dusted, and I can't continue with this. What I mean by that is it's very easy in the fitness zone that you will come across times where things just don't happen the way that you want them to happen. And January was that for me. I separate Fit Mama into a health, fitness, and a sports zone in terms of your physical fitness abilities. And I am firmly in the fitness obliques sports zone. And in the month of January, I slipped straight into the health zone. And that's because in January, middle of January, I had a foot injury. And that foot injury was literally, if you think about these being my toes, the foot injury was right here, which meant that every time I walked, that injury was getting worse. And I needed to let it rest to heal. Now, I'm a personal trainer and I'm running a fitness company, so obviously that's an absolute and utter disaster for me. But instead, what I need to do is I need to focus on mental health, and I need to focus on my food and nutrition, and do as much movement as possible. So not particularly fitness and activity, but movement. Keep myself moving, keep myself active. My food is not involved in my abs, it's not involved in my glutes, it's not involved in my arms. So there are so many things that I can do without involving my foot. Obviously, things like walking normal day to day, that was using up everything that I could do potentially on my foot. So I couldn't be adding to that stress and that trauma of the injury by doing anything else on my feet. So I had to then twist everything around. What can I do lying on the floor? What can I do with my arms? What can I do to make sure that I'm not losing any sort of fitness ability that I have, but I'm not also prolonging the recovery of this injury? And that's what you have to do. You have to think, what can I do to tweak this? You're also very aware, I'm very aware at that point, I'm not doing high cardio, I'm not doing running, I'm not doing a ton of burpees, I'm not doing things that are jumping about, which keeps your weight in check that little bit. It does for me. So I can then have to, look at my diet and say, well, I can't be munching that extra squeezy little biscuit that I want because I've got nothing to work that biscuit off with. So I've got to be really careful in what I'm eating because I'm not balancing out my intake of fuel with my output of energy usage. So I've then got to think, okay, well, what is it I want to do with my diet to make sure that I'm not eating the wrong foods that are going to pile on weight or give me excess calories I don't need to be using, and I'm just eating for what's sake. And the next thing from that is it's fairly linked to a sedentary lifestyle. So when you go into a sedentary lifestyle where you are sitting at a desk all day, or you're sitting, you're not as active, you're not doing as much cardio, then that also affects your mental health, but it also affects obviously your weight and just your body's muscle mass. Everything is affected. These things happen. I had clients in the month of January who were plagued with their kids had an illness, went on to another illness, that then passed to another family member. They could not get out of this cycle of colds and not quite the flu, but this really, couple of days where you're really out, you're down, your temperature's up, and you're just not eating or functioning well. These things happen, but you cannot have the mentality that, well, if I can't do anything today, all is lost. Rather take it as, okay, I'm taking 3 or 4 days out, but I'm going to get back into it. And no, I won't be as strong and as fast and as cardio strength as I was a week ago. So I'm going to start a little bit easier and then work my way back out. Okay, so that's just the message I would give you. February is a really, really short month in all ways. Obviously, days, it's the shortest month of the year, so literally is a short month. But it's also fast and furious. You will fly by. We have really slow January. It happens every single year, so I could pretty much guarantee it. January goes on forever. February, all of a sudden it's done and we're into March. February and March sees all of these mid-season um, school holidays. The school holidays start, you know, this kind of mid-break and ski break and mid-term break and all of this garbage. So you might have school holidays that are going to impact your schedule as well. Okay, so we're now coming into the realms of all of these months where things are going on. I think the next steady month with nothing happening is something like April or May. But every month up until then, there's little, you know, long weekends and things like that. So be prepared for that. You're going to have quite a lot thrown at you in February in terms of your life. So you've got to balance that out with your exercise part as well. This month for February, we are doing a love month. I'm single, so I've got no love. So basically what this love month means is I'm going to introduce you to some partner-based workouts. And these are workouts that you might want to do with a significant other or any old other. And that any old other could be a best buddy, a BFF you meet up with now and again. It could be a work colleague. It could be anybody that you are willing and happy to share your sweat with doing a bit of a workout. And these are really good. And the reason being is your partner might be slower than you, so they're encouraged by you, or you might be slower than them and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to pick this up a little bit to keep up with them. And it's just really good fun. Sometimes it's really good fun to work out with somebody else. So I'm going to introduce a minimum of 2 per week of the 10-minute workouts, which will be a couple or partner-based workout. If you're flying solo, like me, then you could still do these by yourself. I'll explain how you do that solo. And then on the 20-minute zone, at least 1 workout per week out of the 4 will be a partner-based workout. And the reason for that is you can't be just in your household plugging away and doing your fitness and doing your Fit Mama sessions. Maybe you do want to say to your significant other, hey, do you want to join me? You know, a couple that work out together, stay together. Let's do this session together. And that is just something that's a little bit of fun and it's just nice and easy. And as I said, it's a super quick month, so why not? If there's any issues, problems, or anything you want to discuss with me, as per usual, my door is open. Please come in and seek me out and just ask any questions that you want. And if there are any issues fitness-wise or health-wise, then it's really important to give me a heads up just so I can give you some alternatives, some encouragement, or just a virtual hug. That's what I'm here for. I wish you well. Good luck for February, guys. Mwah!